Hey everyone, it's Mike with Confused IT. In this video I want to talk about what is VMware Tools or OpenVMTools and how do you install them. So I'll start off by talking about what it is. This is VMware's definition of what is VMware Tools. They call it VMware Tools is a suite of utilities that enhances the performance of the virtual machine's guest operating systems and improves management of the virtual machine. Without VMware Tools installed in your guest operating system, guest performance lacks important functionality. Installing VMware Tools eliminates or improves these issues. Low video resolution, inadequate color depth, incorrect display of network speed, restricted movement of the mouse, inability to copy and paste and drag and drop files, missing sound, provides the ability to take quick snapshots on the guest OS, synchronizes the time in the guest operating system with the time of the host. VMware Tools includes these components: VMware Tools Services, VMware Devices Drivers, VMware User Process, and VMware Tools and Control Panel. So, yeah, long definition. That's pretty much a very VMware way of explaining what's in there. It covers a lot of the stuff. The simple answer of what this is basically a set of drivers and some utilities that help the guest operating system integrate with the virtualization platform you're using. In this case, we're using VMware. If you're using like a VirtualBox or an Oracle, based system, or a non-VMware tool, non-VMware system, they usually have their own version, or their own version of VMware Tools that you would install. Most virtualization platforms have that. VMware obviously has theirs, and it's called VMware Tools. So if you see it with other solutions, then you can kind of expect to follow a similar process. Basically, it's just an application you install when it boots up. It installs all the drivers for you. It installs a couple of utilities that just, again, help integrate the virtual machine with the virtualization platform, the hypervisor or whatever system you're running. So it's pretty important. And as Dave mentioned, there's a slew of issues that come when you don't have that. And so this is a server I have that doesn't have them installed. And you can kind of clearly see I don't have network access. The cursor is pretty laggy. There's a significant delay in the cursor. I'm kind of going pretty fast now. It's just kind of like lagging around. And if you go to the VM in vCenter, you'll see that there's a warning that VMware Tools does not install this machine. And you can see it here as well. VMware Tools not running, not installed. So the easiest way to install it is to just go ahead and hit Install VMware Tools right here in the corner, or to right-click on it, go to Guest OS, and then hit Install VMware Tools. Then we'll click Mount. Then we'll head over to the VM and we'll go ahead and open up File Explorer. I think it froze. Uh-oh. There we go. File Explorer. This PC, there's our VMware Tools installer. Go ahead and double click that and run through the install process. Now, it is a good idea to keep this up to date. Obviously, like any other application, you're going to want to keep this up to date and running on the latest version, just to keep everything running smoothly. There is another video we have, as well as I think a knowledge base article on it, that basically covers how to automate that update process if you have vCenter, how to make it really easy to do all the updates or even automate the process. Typical install is going to run through the default setup here. And we'll start to see ads. So a bunch of USB drivers. I just saw that flash by. VMCI driver. VMXNet3 driver, very important. That's our network driver. So you should see this red icon turn to, yep, there we go. Now we have internet access. PS2 mouse driver. Hopefully no one's using the PS2 mouse anymore. Install video driver. We should see the screen flash. And it should come back with better resolution. There we go. This does require a reboot, which we'll go ahead and do right now, but you can already see mouse cursor performance, even though that was a little laggy, much better. It's not slowing down when I start hovering over the VM window. And we have network access, resolution's better, all around working good so far. So hit finish, we'll hit yes for restart. Some other features that aren't in there that weren't really mentioned is if you don't have VMware tools installed, you can't initiate a guest reboot from VMware or even from ESXi. And the guest reboot is basically the equivalent of you going in and pressing the start button and then pressing the power button and then hitting restart, doing a kind of a graceful reboot or a graceful shutdown. The only options by default that are in there for the VM are like a hard power off or something along those lines. So let me log in here real quick. There we go. And everything should still load pretty well. In theory, performance should be improved as well. According to VMware, there's a significant number of performance enhancements that come through when you install VMware tools, and it's definitely true. I've definitely noticed that if you don't have VMware tools, things are a little bit more sluggish. Certain things don't work well. Certain features aren't working that great. So definitely very important to install VMware tools after you install a VM. And if I refresh this here, we should see this warning go away, and we'll see here that the VMware tools are running and the version that's there, which is currently the current version. And so this is what I was saying before. If you right click and go to power, we now have these restart. These would be grayed out previously, so we couldn't have done them without VMware tools installed. And so if this is a graceful shutdown, graceful reboot, if you don't have VMware tools installed, you're stuck with a hard reset, hard power off, suspend, or a hard stop. None of those are really great options. So that's how it works on Windows. All right, so next we're going to take a look at OpenVMTools, which is basically Linux. So if we have a Linux VM here, I'll take a look and see. So this Linux VM, for example, does not have VMware tools installed. It's also prompting to install. One thing I didn't mention before about one other benefit of having VMware tools installed is clearly we can't see here what the DNS name or IP address are for this VM. And if I go over to like another VM that happens to have VMware tools installed, we can see that very easily, what the DNS names are and what the IP addresses are. So just another cool fact that, or cool feature you could see when you have VMware tools installed. So you could do the same thing. You could install VMware tools. You could then mount it and then try and go find wherever that mounted that disk to, and then run the installation script on there and get VMware tools installed that way. The easier way that I've been doing for a long time, which is also a VMware, I guess, approved method, is to just use your package manager and install a package that they have. So this is a Rocky Linux VM. Rocky Linux is very similar to CentOS or Red Hat, but the package name has been the same for pretty much any Linux OS you try it on. It's open-vm-tools, and so I'll go ahead and do that now. On this OS, it's dnf install OpenVMTools. I'll go ahead and enter, and I'm going to hit yes. It's very quick to install. It takes just a couple seconds. And that's it. Like 2 seconds, and I'm going to go ahead and just reboot to be safe. If you're on an older, a CentOS version, you can use yum, which is just yum space install space open-vm-tools. If you're on a Debian-based system like Ubuntu, it's the same. It's very similar. It's apt space install space open-vm-tools. No matter what you do, it's the same package name, and it's available by default on pretty much most, I think every Linux OS I've ever tried, and I've tried a bunch of them. It's all usually on there by default. So you can find that package without having to do any kind of, without adding any kind of repos or anything like that. It just automatically is usually in all the default ones. So, all right, we got this booted back up here. We'll take a look at, so here we go. So now it says running version 11.3.3.3, and there's our host name, there's our IP address, and now we have those power options again from here because we have the OpenVMTools installed, or VMware tools installed. If you're wondering why the name's different and it's not VMware tools, if we go over to this article over here, you'll see that this is a GitHub repo that was created by VMware. So it's a VMware official GitHub account, and it's a VMware repo. So it's a real tool that they've created. And this kind of explains what it is and what the OpenVMTools project is. So their description of OpenVMTools is a set of services and modules that enables several features in VMware products for better management of and seamless user interactions with guests. It includes kernel modules for enhancing the performance of virtual machines running Linux or other VMware-supported Unix-like guest operating systems. And then it has a long list of features, which is similar to the feature list on the VMware page I showed earlier on. Copy and paste, better performance, clock synchronization, file system enhancements, all the same stuff. And it even goes down here further, is it available with Linux distributions? Yes. It's generally available in major Linux distributions. If we go into further down, will there be continued support for VMware tools and OSP? So this kind of explains what the status is of VMware tools on Linux, if it's still going to be around, if they're still supporting it, and many other questions if you're interested in them. So I've been doing this method for a long time. I had a coworker tell me about it a couple of years ago, and ever since I've just been, that's how I install VMware tools or OpenVMTools on my Linux servers. It takes 2 seconds and it works great. So I've never had an issue there. And so those are the two ways that I've done it. Obviously, if you're on Windows, use the mount disk option. It's the easiest way, the mount install option. And then if you're on Linux, do the OpenVMTools package install. And it's the other easy way there. If you're dealing with Mac VMs, then that one's a little more complicated. Like everything else with Macs, you can go and get the installer from VMware's website. I think it's a zip folder, and you can just drop it on the Mac, open it, run the installer, and that's basically it. It'll work after that. There may even be a way, if you're running a hypervisor on if you're running like ESXi on a Mac device, there may even be a way to automatically mount it if it supports it. Kind of dicey. I haven't really seen many ESXi servers running on like a Mac Pro or anything like that to test with. So, but that's basically the process. I have installed VMware tools on Mac a couple times, and I usually just get the download from the VMware website and then copy it over to the VM and then install it. So, yeah, that's pretty much overview of VMware tools and how to install it. If you have any questions, please feel free to add it to the bottom of the YouTube video there or comment on our knowledge base, and we'll try and help you out. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you next one. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Our website has some resources that you might find useful as well. Confused IT is a non-for-profit organization ran by IT professionals. Our mission is to make IT knowledge more accessible and easier to digest. Thanks for watching.